Rapping Dodos, your man Don Bucks. And today we're back with another video. We're gonna talk about Dr. Umar. He had an interesting take, and this is probably my second time watching it, so I'm watching it with y'all. I'm gonna give my perspective on it. It's a pretty interesting take on the condition of the Black community and finances. So we're gonna get into that after this. Yeah, so we're gonna get into this, and then I'm gonna give my take. I'm gonna pause it and come back and give my perspective. So let's get it.
Your social media feed, does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Go down your YouTube. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Right. Go through your Twitter.
True.
Go in. If you did not know how racist America was, and you went to Black Twitter, Black Instagram, Black TikTok, Black
Nothing
YouTube,
important there.
could you tell?
No.
Don't it look like we live in the best times of our lives?
Absolutely.
Because Black people are like overgrown children. Slavery arrested our psycho-political development. Slavery arrested our psycho-political development. The slave system.
I'm gonna stop right there. So it's interesting. That's an interesting perspective, because we all know that we behind the eight ball as far as other cultures are concerned when it comes to finances and opportunity and things of that nature. Education, knowing about money, but at the same time, we complain about opportunity. Like he said, if you look on social media, it don't look like we're doing too bad. Like, it seemed like everybody rich. Everybody got it going on. I mean, that's, like you said, if you look at TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, it don't look like we doing that bad. Right? It don't look like we should be complaining about a thing, right?
Turn us into eternal children in this country. What do children do? They spend their money on the things that they like,
Right.
And they beg their parents for the things that they need. Is that not Black America? $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
$4 billion on liquor, $30 billion on hair and beauty, nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, multiple billion on video games, multiple.
That statistic always threw me for a loop. We spend that much money on Jordans? Like, I ain't buy a pair of Jordans back, I'm dating myself, but Jordans.
Like, yeah, it used to be a thing like that. So I think the generations recycle themselves. Like, after a certain age, it's like not really that important. But it was a thing. Like, you wanted the newest Jordans when you was like 14, 15. You know what I'm saying? But in 2025, we spend that much money on Jordans. That's kind of wild. Like, how much you said? $2 billion on Jordans? Let me see.
Right.
And they beg their parents for the things that they need. Is that not Black America? $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
Come on, yo. Come on, man. We spending $2 billion on Jordans every year.
$4 billion on liquor, $30 billion on hair.
$4 billion on liquor. Now, I did my share of Don Julio, but golly, $4 billion on liquor. But yet, the white man holding us back, right?
Hair and beauty, nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, multiple billion on video games, multiple million on children's cologne.
Now, some people will say, some people will take the route of, well, the reason why we you can't look at the results, you got to look at the root. And I get that. You don't blame the results, you blame the root. But I think a conversation needs to be had about the results too. Yeah, you could take it back to, the reasons why we do these things, the reasons why we think like this. Yes, that deserves a conversation. But at what point do we take responsibility to know that, certain things cause us to think a certain way, but you're not stuck. You don't have to be stuck thinking a certain way. That's my point.
But half the black boys in America in 4th grade can't read on their grade level.
That's a fact.
Half the black boys in America in 8th grade can't read on their grade level.
Definitely.
But we spending $21 million on cologne. I don't excuse nothing another race does to my people. Because as a human being, you should be able to practice decency, whether you're dealing with a billionaire or somebody who's dead, broken, homeless on the street. You understand me?
Definitely.
But we have to look in the mirror too.
Just what I was saying. We're not going to sit up here and excuse them from putting us in this mental state or causing this mental state, whereas that we believe we're not somebody unless we have a lot of stuff, right? But that's crazy. I gotta run that back because I just had this conversation the other day about how it's a vast difference in the education when we're talking about public school versus private school. Now, granted, a lot of parents can't afford private school, right? I had the privilege of going to private school for almost a decade, but unfortunately I got kicked out. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But when I got transferred into public school, ain't nobody trying to read, ain't nobody trying to be no nerd, right? And then we had the No Child Left Behind situation going on. So the education already stinks. The environment already stinks. But now, all of that meshed together, the environment, people don't, wanting to read and be a scholar is not the cool thing to do in public school. So you couple that together, now we got kids that don't know how to read. And like I said, the No Child Left Behind joint, they pushing you through whether you know how to read or not. So here it is now. I don't know how long ago that was, but now I believe these people are adults. Like when that started up till now, these people are adults. So they don't know how to read. And what comes with reading? Comprehension. This is why people be wilding in the comments, don't really know how to critically think. And you be seeing these wild comments when people be under posts saying wild stuff unrelated to the topic. It's because their reading comprehension skills are in the basement. They're grown-ups now with no reading comprehension. And this is what he's talking about. It's like we got all this money to spend on Jordans, but our kids can't read.
Half the black boys in America in 8th grade can't read on their grade level.
Definitely.
But we spending $21 million on cologne. I don't excuse nothing another race does to my people. Because as a human being, you should be able to practice decency, whether you're dealing with a billionaire or somebody who's dead, broken, homeless on the street. You understand me?
Definitely.
But we have to look in the mirror too and look at how we make it easy for people to disrespect us. Because how does a people in your condition have the time to engage in this type of tomfoolery over here?
Yeah.
If I'm Chinese looking at Black America, how do I make sense out of this?
Right.
Y'all can't care about yourselves because as much as you talk about reparations and as much as you talk about the next presidential election, look at the money you waste.
Seriously. Like, seriously. The condition that we in, how do we got time? Like I had to reevaluate my life at some point. Like, yo, how do we got time? You can't plate and shit and then mad because it stinks. And I hope YouTube don't flag me for it. You can't play it. You can't eat onions and then mad because you're crying. It's like, how does that make sense?
Imagine a Korean walk into a black community meeting on reparations, a Korean, and stand up and say, "Can I ask y'all a question? Why y'all in here arguing over reparations when y'all done turned my people into $1 trillion nation? Take $30 billion off y'all people a year. $30 billion a year. How much have we give the Koreans over the past 30 years? What's 30 billion times 30 years? And you talking about reparations? You see that? But black people are in denial about our self-hate. I tell black women all the time, if you would just stop hating the way God made you, you can take your $30 billion a year and build an independent school for every black girl out here.
Uh-oh, here it come.
You could stop child sex trafficking. Black women could wipe out child sex trafficking for black girls by taking some of that $30 billion on here. But guess what? How I look is way more important than the condition of my people.
They ain't gonna like that one. They ain't gonna like that one, Dr. Umar. Ain't gonna like that one. You know, that is a touchy subject when you talk about women's hair. Why is that such a touchy subject? Because, you know, I hear, oh, it's hard to maintain our hair. I hear that one. It's interesting, but bro just said if they just love themselves, they can bring 30 million back into our fold. 30 million a year. I gotta run that back. He said they can stop child trafficking.
You can take your $30 billion a year and build an independent school for every black girl out here. You could stop child sex trafficking. Black women could wipe out child sex trafficking for black girls by taking some of that $30 billion on here. But guess what? How I look is way more important than the condition of my people. Black men, same thing. We could take the $4 billion on liquor, the $2 billion on Air Jordans, the multiple billion we spend on vacations, all the money we spend on these damn non-black women. We could take that money and build black schools for black boys all over.
I mean, all this deserves some introspection, I must say. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm interested to hear what y'all think, because this is a very real conversation. This is very practical. If you just think about it, it's like we spend so much money on so many things, but at the same time we complain about reparations. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. This is Don Bucks, and I'll see you on the next video.